All right, y'all. I'm back with another live stream. This time we're just jumping right into the sample. I already did my TED talk and intro, whatever. If you don't know me, I'm Narisse. I sing, write, produce, make beats. You about to watch me make a beat. I'm a visual artist, all those things. If you're new, welcome to the village. If you already been here, welcome back. Village is a safe space for the loners, for the ostracized folks, the kids that feel like they don't really feel seen and heard, and people don't get them. This is a safe space for you. We make music, we do motivational talks, we crack jokes, we have a good time over here. Okay, we have a good time. We talk, spiritual woo woo things every now and then. And there's always going to be a message where I feed your soul in a positive way, where I leave you with some food for thought. Now, with that said, we about to jump right into this beat. I know I had some folks in the last live stream, you know, as folks are coming back in. I'm just gonna get started with this beat because I already know, like, okay, working. This song might be copywritten. I'm assuming it is. It's an old school record, but yeah, I just wanted to separate the two. So, if there's any copyright issues, it'll be here and not my other live stream. Because I was on there for about like 40 minutes and I was cooking. I love to do my little motivational TED Talks. That's just how we get into it. But now let's get into the beat. But I gotta figure out how I wanna chop this up. But anyway, I love that intro. All right, I know this one section. Let's cut that. We're gonna copy this, paste it, and then let's see if we can loop it. All right, hold on. Something about that loop I don't like, and I think it's just how it starts. Yeah, there we go. That's why. Um, all right. Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta mute that part up there. So let's try that again. Okay, I don't know. I feel like it's like too quick, like just like a sliver to. Yeah, it's just a little bit long. I want it to start like right at the beat, and I see the space. I see the gap of space there. And really, it's just a matter of me bringing this in right here. Actually, this should start like right before the next beat comes in. Just like that right here. Hey, welcome back. Or if you're new, welcome. Okay, now let's see if the beat is on tempo. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Um all right, so I like that so far. I don't know, I feel like this whole intro is good. Like the original song is so dope. I'm just trying to think like, okay, where would the beat come in for me? But I feel like I know I want to like sample that the part with the vocals, but like that's a good intro in, and I think I might use that the same way I did the what's the name, the Game of Thrones track. All right, so hold on, let me just uh 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 mm, mm, mm. Oh yeah, that's like perfect. All right, that's a perfect transition. All right, so let me do this. Let's try to split that right there. Just copy that and paste that down here. Now let's see if that blends well. Oh no, actually not. That needs to be, if we're gonna do that, then that could be uh, 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 uh. Okay. And then that goes into uh 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 uh. Mm, 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 mm. I don't care. I don't care if you know Spanish or not. Like a groove is a groove, you know. All right, so hold on. All right, this starts on like the offbeat or like a half a measure or no, half a beat before, but that's fine. Oh, oh no, that is not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Okay, okay, I need that. I feel like this is a chorus somewhere. somewhere around here. It's a chorus. I feel like, or wrong button. Oh. I don't know if that's the one I want to use. All right. Okay, now this is what I want to use right here. Well, I kind of want to use this whole part right here, actually. I kind of want that to be the reoccurring melody. Yeah, I know it switches up later on, but all right. I don't even know if this gonna sound right. I'm just chopping up different parts of the beat and just hoping it sounds good. Um, hold on. Okay, that is the right part. No, it's not. Yeah, the band comes in right here. All right. I think what I gotta do right here is trim this part off right here. Okay. You know, I might need another track here. Because the vocal kind of overlaps a little bit. Yeah, and the background glides better. Okay, but I kind of want to use this section too, the part right before then. The with the horns. Uh, I feel like that could be like later on in the track, like in between. Maybe like over here or something like that. Or maybe I should keep the vocal samples on a separate thing. Like this could be the backtrack, or more instrumental vocal tracks. That way, that could be like a little bit better organized for me. Okay, this is just the horns by itself. And then it's the intro or transition. And the bass, horns. And drums. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, because this is like right on the. But that might make this a little. This might be perfect for that. Okay, hold on. Which part is it? Okay. Oh, actually, that might be perfect. Might be perfect transition. This is shorter, but. See if that blends well. I feel like it might. We'll see. We'll try to put it together. Actually, it should go. Okay, I gotta make that blend better. Okay, it's a little off. Nope. Almost. Okay. There we go. I don't know what the fuck the structure is. I wish I knew how to like chop up samples on the beat machine. I don't quite know how to do that yet. I just like hear the sections that I know I like and I can piece it together well. But I'm like, I wish I could be one of those producers that could just like, tap it out. I can add like beats and like build the production with that, but I'm like, I don't even know if this sounds structured right. Right. Like, okay, intro, first verse, chorus. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we got so far. I think it blends well, but I'm like, okay, what's the structure? Like, okay, I feel like the intro is solid because it's like the original song, but I'm gonna add more beats to it. I wish I had this part right here, but without the vocals. I feel like that's like the easiest part to loop, but because this intro is cool, but it's just the horns. Uh, uh. But this with the bass, the drums, the horns. Mm, mm. And then the drums is like playing a little bit more, so that'd be harder to loop. This is cool because the horns are doing something different. Uh, like, I mean, it sounds good. I'm just trying to think like, what's the best part that I could just loop in the middle, and then add like the vocals part because I think I want the. You know what's interesting? What I'm thinking of as a structure, even though it's a completely different kind of a beat. I'm thinking of the BBL Drizzy beat. Because like that the sample was happening throughout the whole track. So even if you wrote a rhyme to it, which I did, but I didn't post it. Um, even if you write a whole rhyme to it, the sample is playing throughout the backtrack. And there's a lot of beats like that. Like I think of Kanye's Through the Wire. I feel like there's and then not only that he pitches the vocals up and I realized that like I just be sampling these samples. I don't pitch it any kind of way anyway. I just started adding effects on it, so I'm like maybe I should like pitch it down or pitch it up a little bit just so it's a little bit different from the original song. But I don't know, we'll see what I can do with that. But I mean, there are songs where the sample plays in the background. It's just how I want to kind of play off the word because I think what she's saying is Menacero, El Menacero. That's what the song is called, Menacero. I hope I say it right. Um, but she's money, and then she goes into the rest of the words. But I don't think she's just saying Monacero. You know what I mean? It sounds like she's saying money. And I'm trying to play off of that. So I'm like, okay, how do I chop this up in a way where like um kind of like man, what song does that? I mean, the my first thought is like BBL Drizzy, like how people write stuff to it, and then the BBL Drizzy part is a part of the sample. So like even whatever you write, and even if you come out of it, the BBL Drizzy could go along with what you wrote. You know what I mean? So like I'm saying that purely like out of song structure, not even just about the fact that it's a Drake diss, which is funny because I mean when Drake said "shut up and make some drums," I guess that's what we're doing is making some fucking drums. Can Drake make some drums? I don't know. I guess he can hire a drum team. But Drake said, I mean not Drake. Metro said, "All right, bet." Ah, that's funny. How producers find ways to be petty. I love that. For the sake of the battle, you know. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to chop this up right. But I feel like, man, this sample is fucking dope though. I did not like my incense. Man, that's some good water. Okay. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna all right. I feel like the intro is solid. Or you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Actually. Actually. Okay, no, that's not what I meant to do. Nope. I think it's track. Yeah, yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I think this is literally, yep. I guess. Possibly. I wouldn't say that that's a bridge. Okay, so let's just try to. Honestly, I feel like this could be a verse right here, like an intro verse type of thing. Introverse. This feels more like a chorus. This feels like a verse. Oh, excuse me. You know what? Where are we on time? This is literally a minute into the record. Okay, not bad. I'm trying to get to the. I'll be funny, but I get the. I feel like I need something like smoother in between this. Yeah, I feel like it just jumps right into it. At least this is gradual because it's just the vocals and then the other instruments comes in. I need this to be more precise. I'm like, can they just snap to the. Anyway. All right, hold on. Trying to get to the. Get to the money. All right, hold on. If I'm gonna do that, then okay. Actually, let's make this. I'm like, can I change this shit? The fuck? Let's do that as a verse, and this as a chorus. I think. And I'm ain't mad cause I get to the bag. I'm mad cause I get to the bag. Okay. In real life, she bad. Actually, you know what? I think this might have been better off before. Okay, actually. Okay, like I said, if I just had that one part without the vocals. Oh wait. That's that part right there. Like if I just had the part with just the bass, the drums, and then the horns comes in. Like if I had this part without the vocals, then that would be a good loop for a verse. If I had like the stems for this, the MIDI controller, the MIDI files. Yeah, the transition on this song is crazy. But I just wish I had this part, but without these horns. The I'm not messing up the notes, but if I just had it with the where it's the drums, then the bass, and then the da 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 da. Like if that just comes in, if I had that part, that would be the loop for the verse. But I feel like I have to use this section just cause like just using what I got, which is not a bad section. I just feel like it doesn't transition well from the vocal section. Like it's not bad. Okay, first of all, that's a verse. This is a chorus. This is gonna be another verse. I think what I want to do here is actually extend this part though. Where she money. I think that might be. Mm. Wow. Not me adding that right to the beat. All right. I think I might be able to work with that, but I do want this transition to be a little smoother. Actually, let's try something. Ah, yeah, I like that better. That makes this okay. That smooths it out way better. Adding that extra note, because I was like, this sounds too crazy. Okay, now this makes that horn section not sound too crazy. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, okay. I like this. I like this. I like this. All right, hold on. So, and then we'll make this a chorus. Can I add different colors? Like, I don't like how these colors is looking. I mean, not that that matters. It doesn't matter, but it does though. Like, because like I say, I'm a visual artist as well. But mm, 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 mm. Oh, I feel like the drums is gonna be fun. Okay, and it's still on beat with the metronome, so that's good. Okay, all right. I like what we got so far, but I think actually this technically would be the chorus. Then it's like the pre-chorus. I mean, I guess it just really depends on how I write for this. Oh, the fact that was like right on beat, crazy. Okay, let me try something real quick. Yeah, but this got a whole nother vibe. I don't want to use that section then. I'll stay truthfully at the beginning of the song. I don't know what that is, but I like that. I don't know what she's saying, but I like that whisper tone, that like low register kind of talking vibe. I'm like, oh, I like that. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it's gonna go somewhere. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, I mean, it could go right there, actually, kind of. Let's see if it works. Oh, right there. Okay, it does, but it don't. Okay, let's undo that. Add that somewhere. I don't know, somewhere around here. I'll make it work. Maybe at the very end. Okay, I'm trying to think. Like, how do I want to loop this again? Maybe I'll do another loop of this. Okay, actually, I could probably use this. Money, money. But it's on the same beat, so probably not. Maybe I wouldn't use it right there like that. Money. Oh wait. No, that's gotta be like on the. It's gotta be like right there, I think. No, no. It was... Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that. Undo. Okay. We got the color pinwheel spinning. How y'all guys doing so far? So we got one human, or so that's what what's name tells me. Uh, I'm excited about this beat though. Oh man, it's gonna be such a vibe. Oh no, come on, Garage Band, don't fail me now. Come on. Oh, I broke it. It's okay. Uh, uh, mm, 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 mm. Honey. Oh my goodness. What the fudge muffins? Um, what's the theme? I don't know. Money. I don't know. It's just a vibe. I just wanted to like want it to be like a smooth, feel good, kind of Latin feel. When I heard the track, I was like, "Ooh, this would be a dope sample." And it's an idea that I've had for a long time. And you know what? And I feel like a lot of the beats that I'm working on now are like old ass ideas that I've had years ago, but I'm just now kind of like getting around to it. Like the hiatus beat, the Alina Baraz one, the All Yours, Follow Your Dreams kind of record. Um, what else? What else is there? I feel like they're all samples. The Orion Sun one, that one's kind of recent because I stumbled across that song like a few months ago. Um, what else? The Game of Thrones one, that's an idea that I had for a while, like 2 years ago, maybe three. So a lot of these are like old ideas, but I'm just now getting around to like chopping up the sample. And I feel like as long as I make it dope and it sounds good in the end, I feel like it adds to like the testament of um how do people say it? Um Standing the test of time. Because a lot of these samples are older ideas, but I think if because they're I don't know. I feel like if you use the sample, especially if it's something that's older and it still sounds fresh, it has the element of the past, but if it's done in a modern way, it should be able to stand the test of time. You know what I mean? Unless you make samples in a way where it feels very present. But like, I don't know. I feel like if you talk about if you talk about Pharrell and just like the resurgence of his sound with Tommy Richmond, it's very like 2000s Pharrell-esque kind of a nuanced style. And some people are like, "Oh, he's bringing back like that 90s, early 2000s sound." And I feel like for millennials or people who grew up during that era, it feels nostalgic. But if you're just listening to it sonically, it sounds like it still sounds new. It still sounds fresh. Like it doesn't sound old. You know what I mean? You know how certain records sound like, "Oh damn, this sound like this came from the 60s." And no shade, 60s had good music. But you know what I mean? Like there's certain songs that just got that old sound. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just, you could be like, oh, this sounds classic. This sounds like, I would like to say, vintage. But I feel like Pharrell's one of those producers that has a way of making beats sound timeless, and Timbaland too. Like if you listen to a lot of like Aaliyah songs, her shit sound like it could come out today. Like her catalog, or at least like the later records from One in a Million and the self-titled album, um, those, like the production on those records, like that stuff could come out today and still sound like current. You know what I mean? But at the same time, for people who grew up in that time, um, the people who grew up during that era is gonna sound nostalgic for people who like, oh, I remember growing up listening to these songs, or when this song came on the radio, you know? Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, I just hope he could work it out with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think for me, and also, did I use LimeWire? Not really, because I didn't really know how to use LimeWire back then. I mean, my brother did. No shade, but I mean, I might have, but like, that was before I knew how the industry worked and like how purchasing records supports artists. I know better, and I buy albums these days. So, any artist watching, don't come for me. But and and if you want to support my music, please support it. And purchase from Narisse.com. But yeah, I will say, like, okay, I'll say this because I like to be honest. Okay, I like to keep it real. And let me see if this is still. Oh my gosh, this is still like frozen in time. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this. I hope it like auto saved. But yeah. So okay, the Pharrell and Khalees thing. I think Khalees has a right to feel the way she does. Um, you know, based on what she said and those videos that kind of went viral around the time where when Beyonce put out Renaissance and sampled the Khalees record, and Khalees felt the way because she didn't get the heads up about it, and technically she can't really co-sign because she doesn't own those records because Pharrell owned it and apparently like cheated her out her deal or whatever the case may be. She has a right to feel upset about that. Any artist should, when it's your music, and and you're in the process of making it with someone, and they just put it out or say that you're gonna get a certain credit and then don't. Like, yeah, it's fucked up. It's totally fucked up. And I feel like Pharrell's one of those people who can like get away with that because he's so like he has this very zen and thou shalt love the world kind of a like aura and energy that no one really thinks of Pharrell as someone that's problematic. And, not saying that he is problematic, but I'm saying that we're all flawed people. And some way or another, somebody's going to be pissed at us at some point in life, right? And I feel like Khalees has a legitimate reason to be upset as an artist, as a creative, and she's just one of those people that's gonna let you know, like that Harlem jumps out, and like she's not about that, and she's gonna let you know. And I respect that. I respect tough, tell it like it is kind of girls like that, and I feel like that should be fixed with a conversation and a new contract. Like just like give her run her masters, like, you know what I mean? That's all. And I've always felt like that. Like in regards to that, I support Khalees. I just feel like, I mean, it's not gonna make me not like the Pharrell songs. Like, I feel like that don't change the dopeness of the beats. You know what I mean? But I do feel like, yeah, it is fucked up. But I feel like it's not something that he can't make right. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's something he could fix, and it shouldn't take like it shouldn't have well, I mean, I don't know if it's currently fixed or not, or if that's in the works, and because I haven't really followed that story in a while. But it should have been something to take 20 years to do. You know what I mean? Like, give her the credits to her songs, especially if she wrote them. You know, she said she wrote most of those songs. And I get it, like, if the Neptunes produced it, yeah, that okay, they technically would get a writer's credit. But if she wrote the song, you know, she should have gotten credit for her own music too. But I mean, I don't know how like all the contracts work or whatever the case may be, but I feel like he could fix that. They could fix that. Yeah, give Khalees her things. That's all. Okay, I don't know this why this froze like this. Okay. I'm just gonna pray that this auto saved. And we're just gonna close that out real quick. Yes. Yes. Oh Lord. Thank you. Or at least I think this is the right version. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is what I was working on. Okay, yeah. And then I was trying to move this up, move this over. Or no. Money. I think that's the beat right there. Oh, no, no, no. Mm-mm. Hold on, that might be it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so far I think I like how that sounds. Yeah, 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 I like that. All right, what's after that? Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. And then I think maybe yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay, I think that's the loop. Okay. Hi, I'm well. How are you doing, love? Well, welcome. Welcome to the village. It's not just a live stream, it's a village here. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of those on, especially on Kick. There's like a whole like page of music production or people DJing and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm currently working, chopping up this sample, and then I'm gonna build the beat. I'm just trying to figure out how to like put it all together. I don't know how I do beats are like probably different than other people's processes, but yeah, I'm experimenting with sampling. I'm kind of new to it, so yeah, I'm just doing the best I can with what I got. So yeah, okay, I like this section right here. And then you know what? I think I might be a little bit um creative. I might get a little creative and chop up one part because I kind of want that the part where her vocal does the money. I just want that to be in one section of the song, but the money, like I want to keep that though, and let that be like the reoccurring sample. So it switches up a little bit, but then I want it to kind of go back to its other sound. But then again, I might blend both vocals though, because I do like how she goes up with the money versus money. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna chop it up. I have an idea of how I want to do this, and I think it's gonna be dope. But okay. Well, I'm glad you're doing fine, darling. Um, just came from the studio. Okay. What do you do production as well? Um, oh my goodness, all the questions. Um, well, thank you. I try. I try my best to keep a good vibe happening on this planet. You know, these humans could be a little weird sometimes, but I'm weird, but in a dope way. Um, yeah, I well right now I'm using GarageBand, but I go back and forth between GarageBand and Ableton. So after I finish like chopping up this sample, I'm gonna use Ableton to like add the beats and everything and like add the drum section, maybe a little melody because I have a MIDI controller that I use. So this is what my baby looks like. I got the Mini Lab Atora. I think that's how you call it. How you say it? But I make my beats on here. But right now I'm chopping up a sample idea that I've had for a few years now, and I'm just getting around to actually using it. Um, so yeah, and then I usually add different like parts and beats and stuff like that on Ableton for now. I've used like Logic Pro a little bit, but I still have to like learn it and master it. But right now I'm like more familiar with Ableton in terms of beat making, and I'll usually do GarageBand mostly for vocals or like if I'm recording live instruments because it's just easier to use that program for me. Because as you can see, I have a guitar, I have a bass over here. Not the best instrumentalist, but enough to be able to come up with a dope bass line and lay down some chords. And I'll do vocals on here. It's easier for me to record vocals. And lately I've been using this software to chop up samples just because like I'm not sure how to like use the beat machine with samples just yet. I'll learn eventually. But yeah. But how long have I been making music? Since 2015. Yeah, since 2015. Back in the day, I used to be in a group called Down to Mars, and but I started working on solo music around 2018, 19, 2019, I'll say, and then I released my first solo project, Divine, on streaming platforms. So do check that out, please. But I also have music on SoundCloud too. So I see that you're watching on Kick. I'll add the chat overlay just because there's enough comments on here. If it's just me by myself, then I'll just kind of keep it like this. But yeah. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, um, sorry, I was rereading something you already said. But I mean, hey, this is a vibe. But my normal live stream schedule is Music Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, because I'm on the East Coast. Um, where you located, if you don't mind me asking? But on the East Coast, and Music Monday, Wave Wednesday, Fire Friday. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are usually when I live stream. I say 7 p.m. I'll probably get on a little bit later. I'll usually be on Kick and YouTube um, at 7 p.m., probably 8 p.m. Tonight I started at like 10. So, it really depends. I'll post though. I usually post on YouTube to kind of give people a heads up, like when I'm going to be live streaming. Because I've just been working on a lot of different music. But, okay. Fruit Loops. Yeah, Ableton took me a while to like kind of like get. I think it's easier. Yeah, it took me a minute. Like it wasn't hard, but it was just different because I was so used to GarageBand, but I was using Ableton for something different. Like GarageBand, I was mostly using vocals because I didn't start making my own beats until like I had been recording vocals since 2016 or 2015, but I started making my own beats around 2019. So yeah, so I had just gotten into it, and for me, it was just a matter of like trying to like add different sounds, get used to the sound packs that's on the program. Then there was like a extra software called Analog Lab with all these really cool sounds on there. And I love Analog Lab, but the thing that's frustrating about that was mainly because I was producing at a rate that wasn't consistent. So, say if I started making a beat and I used the sound that was in Analog Lab, because it was like a plugin basically, and say if the software updated and I go back to this old ass beat like from a year ago and I'm trying to find the sound that I had originally on Analog Lab, and now it's a new version of Analog Lab and it doesn't have that same sound that I was using. So I was like, oh my god. Or maybe it did, but I forgot the name of the sound, and because it updated, it didn't save on the actual like project. So I got to like go through all the sounds again, and it's a completely different like looking software because it updated. So it's like this whole thing. But I came up with a system where it's easier for me to find it now. So I'll name the track the same sound that's in Analog Lab, and I'll like label it like this is an Analog Lab sound versus, a sound pack that came in Ableton. Like it's a whole thing. Like this whole producer life is really it's a lot. But yeah. And Logic, I feel like honestly Logic will probably be the best thing because I feel like everything that I'm trying to do in Ableton and GarageBand, I think I could probably do both in Logic Pro, but I just really don't feel like having to pay for it. Or at least not yet. I haven't caught up with the future version of myself that can afford it yet. So for now, we'll just work with Ableton. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hear like Fruit Loops is classic, so. Oh shit. Oh, you're in the future. Oh, that's cool. Okay, you're from Europe. What country? I've been to Europe before. It's Saturday. Yeah. Word. Well, I mean, if you want vacation, you want to make sure you enjoy that time, you know? Okay, Finland. I've never been there. What's Finland known for? Like, I've heard of the country, but I haven't been there, and I'm trying to place in my mind like where on the map it is. But I've been to or what's near Finland, and what's Finland known for? You know, like the cliche touristy things, or like the nuanced cultural parts of Finland that people overlap. Well, I'm asking you because you there. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm gonna look it up to see where it is on the map, but um, like what's the culture like? But I know I've been to London for like 2 seconds. I've been to. Oh, okay. Oh, word. So, well, I mean, Russia's a huge country. So you're not by Ukraine, right? Google Lapland. Okay. That sounds like where my cat hangs out cuz she likes to sit on my lap. So, oh, okay. I see these pictures here. So you guys have like, is this where Santa is? I see there's a Lapland Santa. But okay, you guys see the northern lights. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see. I see where you guys are. Ah, so yeah, you're totally nowhere near the stuff that's going on in Ukraine right now. Yeah, the Arctic Circle. Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh, I love when you guys pop in from all over the world and I learn new things. Like a few, I remember at one point there was a guy from like South Africa that was in here. Um, there was like a few months ago, there was somebody from Ireland. Somebody actually purchased one of um my EPs from Ireland, so that was cool. Um, or wait, was it? It's Ireland. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was either no or the UK, one or the other. But it was cool. It was cool, but it was interesting to see what the UK process was. Hey, welcome back, honey. How are you doing? Yeah, but I love to see you guys popping in from all over the world. That's cool. And I mean, it's very fitting for the beat that I'm working on because, um, I mean, I know there's a difference between Latino and Hispanic, but it's a Spanish language song. I want to say it's a Latin record because I love Latin music. I do. I can't tell you like specific artists and stuff like that, but there's many times where I've had like Puerto Rican friends or friends of um I'm trying to think. No, she was Puerto Rican, he was Puerto Rican. I know some other folks that might have been like Dominican, but anytime I'd be like around them and I go to like some of the like Spanish neighborhoods in my area, and I remember this one time we hung out at the bar with like her and like her some of her fam was there, and like it was just like all Latin music, and I love that. Like I love the vibes. And it was another time she brought me to like a Puerto Rican restaurant, and or no, I think it was Dominican. I think it was Dominican because you got to be specific because they they don't play about their flags. You know what I mean? Um, and the food was good. Oh, the food was good, and the music was bomb. Like I don't care if the music is in a language that I don't understand. Like if it's a vibe, it's a vibe. And I'm one that'll like bop out to anybody's kind of music, like as long as it's good. Okay. Helsinki? Did I say it right? Helsinki? Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me you're from Finland and you make trap music and hip hop and R&B? Okay, that's a vibe. Okay, a lot of lakes. Okay, Helsinki. That sounds like a problem. And I was like, if you sinking into hell, or, um, I'm trying to like spin it. Um, I'm trying to spin it into a positive. It kind of looks like ski. Like if you just squint at the word, it looks like ski. And from the pictures, it looks like a place that you can ski in. But I mean, that's cool though. Oh, I love learning new things about places around the world. Okay. Yeah, oh man, I love nature too. And I need to get out into nature more. I recently started like hanging out in my backyard more, which does not sound that exciting. But I've been like really cooped up in the house, just kind of like chilling for the most part. But I've been like, you know what? It's summertime. I'm like such a homebody these time, like this era in my life. I haven't really been like out hanging out with friends. I've been like super antisocial because it's a long story, long drawn out story that I'll probably explain more on one of my Patreon accounts. But yeah, no, that sounds very cool. Yeah, New York is very interesting though. Like, I mean, New York is. I love New York. I do. I worked in New York for a little bit. Granted, I hated that time because I was like being bullied and all this shit. It was awful. But before then, New York was a place that I love to go to, just because like I live in Jersey, so I'm literally like one state beneath New York. So New York is like an hour away from me, and I could just take the train and be out there. And back in the day, like me and my friend, we would hang out and go to New York all the time. And he was really into comic books. So he'll be like, "Oh, I want to go to this comic store that's in New York." And then so we'll go out there with barely any money. We just have enough money just to like take the train to get out there and get some food. And so we'll stop at like the comic store that he won't want to go to, or we'll hang out at like Central Park, and or our Bryant Park too. And then and yeah, and I think one time I went out there like a few years ago for New York Pride, and it was a vibe. Like I love being in New York, as like chaotic and like stank as it can be, and like as intense as the hustle and bustle of New York can be. I love the city. Like I don't know. It's something about being in a city that I love. I don't know how much I'd feel about it now these days. I mean, it might get better. It might get better for me. But like for me, like I really loved going to college in Philly, and yeah, I always wanted to be in New York because I'm a creative, I'm an artist, and I like always dreamt of like performing in New York and just like being out there. But yeah, and when you're a Jersey girl, like it's a lot of nature where I am too. Like we're known as the Garden State, and driving through New Jersey, if you're not on like a highway, it's a lot of it's a lot of, what do you call it? Um Nature. Yeah, it's a lot of fields, a lot of trees, depending on what parts of Jersey you're driving through. But I love that though. I love that element of nature. I love grass, and I love grass. I sound so corny. But not really. Like I feel like nature's so cool. Like, and I have a park by me, and I would go to the park all the time, but I'm too famous to go to the park. In my mind, if my life were anything like the Truman Show. Um, okay. Okay, interesting. Oh, word, that's cool. Okay. Young Thug. Okay, free Young Thug. Future 21, little baby. Okay, okay. Ah, interesting. What is okay? So, how would you describe Finnish music? Fin- Listen to. Am I saying it right? Finnish. Um. Yeah. Period. That's crazy. Honestly, you probably know more about his music than me, and I'm from the U.S. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really listen to Young Thug like that. I don't be listening to these young whippersnappers out here. I'm very like, okay, I can't even say old school. It's not that old school, but I listen to a lot of I don't know, like 90s hip hop. And then like I guess the most recent era of rappers I would keep up with is like from my high school days, like the 2010s, when like J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, when all of those guys were coming up. That's like the only ones I really like kind of keep up with, but not so much lately. I mean, aside from like the whole beef and battle that's been going on. Um, when you say how do you handle the snow, are you asking me or our our friend from Finland? Yeah, I do live in New Jersey. Um, the best thing to do in Jersey and New York, oh man, I wish I could tell you that. I don't know. I have to rediscover that for myself. I mean, I've just been too busy like fighting everybody in New Jersey. But um best thing to do in New Jersey. I mean, we got Six Flags. I haven't been to Six Flags in a very long time, but I remember me and my friend we used to go a lot. Like we had season passes and we would always hang out at Six Flags. And when you got the season pass, it don't cost you anything to like you just, so our mom would pick us up and then just drop us off there for a few hours and then we just like go on all the roller coaster rides and and chill there all day. Man, that was such a vibe. That was such a good time back in the day. We haven't done that in a long time. I mean, I haven't chilled with them in a while because of a lot of other shit, but yeah, there's Six Flags in New Jersey. There's also the shore. We got beaches, which I would love to go to. um what else? What else is in Jersey? Concerts. There's some concert places like if you go to Prudential Center in Newark, Trenton is interesting. Really interesting. 50 Cent. That's so cool. Um, but best things to do in New York. I mean, New York is definitely more active than New Jersey. New York, you could do anything. Everything's out there. You can go to museums. It just really depends on what you're into. Like if you're like into like LGBTQ stuff, there's New York Pride, like parade. There's gay clubs. I haven't been to like gay clubs out there, but I know they exist. There's fashion stuff. Like I said, if you're into arts, there's museums, hip hop. They're starting to do hip hop um exhibits, which I think are really cool. I've been wanting to go to some. I know Jay-Z had one like last year or something like that. Cuz they did like they had like different memorabilia of different points of his career. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, cuz you said you really like hip hop. There's performances, there's always concerts going on. Governor's Ball. Um yeah, there's so much in New York. There's the ballet. I mean, I'm not that I'm a ballet person, but I went to a ballet because Solange was commissioned to compose a piece for the New York City Ballet, and I was a huge like Solange fan at the time. And yeah, not really. Um No, I don't know any vintage shops in New York. Um, mm, interesting. Okay, so it's like okay, y'all got the same. So y'all got like um mm, yeah. Yeah, 50 Cent dude got the bops right now. No, nope. Not yeah, I can't think of any that I know of. Yeah, I will say US definitely sets the trends in more ways than one. Um, but at the same time, I mean, specifically with hip hop, I feel like other cultures and other countries, like, I think they're starting to get their shine too. Like right now, like I think UK is, I think, gonna start getting more recognition soon in the US at least. I was just saying at the beginning of this live stream how I like Central C. Now I don't know none of his songs. Okay, don't ask me to name you any of them songs. I just know the one that's viral, the one that he got with Lil Baby, and I like that one. I like that record, the Band for Band, John. Um, and I know he got this song with Ice Spice, which is like problematic because like apparently like he left his girlfriend for Ice Spice and all this stuff, like this behind the scenes drama. Now, the song is still dope though. But mainly because the beat is dope. Like I really like the beat. And I like his voice. Like I like how he raps. Cause I feel like sometimes like hearing UK rappers, like the accent is like it's interesting. Is especially when you're from the US and like hip hop originated in New York and in the US. So, you're used to hearing your culture a certain way. And so when you see it done in different spaces, it's like, oh, okay, all right, this is interesting. But I think I started listening to more UK rappers. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm starting to like their sound. Like it's not sounding like weird to me. Cuz I feel like if you're from the US and you just hear anybody from the UK, all of it sounds proper, even if they like from the hood. Because like I understand like if you're from the UK, each accent is nuanced and different and they're like, "Oh, I can tell you're from Yorkshire versus like this part of the UK." And us from like America, we don't really, it all sounds the same to us, unless we're like there and we're hearing and we're getting used to the nuances. But yeah, I think and for people from the US, it just all sounds like, like somebody um like Queen Elizabeth trying to rap type shit. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, because it's King Charles now, right? Yeah. Wow. Whoever did that portrait of him did him dirty, but that's a whole other thing for another time. But yeah, that's the synopsis of music from all over the world. But that's really cool though. Um, but yeah, I have an idea for how I want to do this next section, and I think it's going to be dope. Oh, word. You know, honestly, I mean, I've heard of Finland, right? But it's like we don't know too much about it. You know what I mean? I mean, we'll know about different places around the world. And I think, and I've said this before on, I don't know, different platforms or whatever, but I feel like US, like America as a country, we're ignorant in terms of global awareness versus how other countries are. Like other countries know a lot about what goes on in the US, but the US doesn't necessarily know a lot about what goes on in other countries. I mean, but it depends though, because at the same time, I feel like the thing that makes America special is the fact that there's so many different people from different parts of the world and there's a lot of cultures here. And so even if you're American, chances are your family originated from somewhere else or you have roots to different things. Now, me, I'm Black American, I'm African American, so I don't really know too much about my heritage aside from the fact that I know my ancestors were slaves at one point. But I know there's like when I went to high school, I went to a predominantly white school, and the only other black girl in my class, because it was 12 of us and it was two black kids. It was me and my other friend, who her family's from Nigeria, so she's like first generation United States citizen, but she was born in Nigeria though. I think I'm pretty sure she was born in Nigeria, and yeah, so it was interesting, and then like so I would hear about people's heritage from different places. And that's kind of how I would learn about other cultures. But for the most part, I feel like Americans generally, kind of like when it comes to languages, like I know Spanish is technically a second language here, but I feel like it's a second language because we have a lot of people who are of Latin or Hispanic heritage that come to the US and live here. But in our public school systems or just in our school systems period, even though we're taught languages, we don't really learn those languages like how other countries, like say if there's a other native language and other schools teach English, y'all be knowing English. Like y'all be having full English conversations with people. And I'm like, I wish that were the case in America, but I feel like everything is just so accessible to people who speak English. Like, you can get around the world if you don't speak any other languages. Now, I try to learn other languages. I know, right? Yeah, it was only 12 of us. It was crazy. It was a private school though, and it was small as hell. Like it wasn't it wasn't a lot of us at all. I know there's people who graduate with a class of like 800, which is crazy to me because but that's like public schools in my area. But my school was private, small, wasn't that many people. It was like one Asian girl, two black kids, one Asian girl, or no, two technically, because the other girl, she's Filipino. And then everybody else was white. Different mixtures of white. One's Italian, one's Irish, one's this, one's that. But essentially, it was predominantly white. But yeah, I just feel like as Americans, sometimes we could be a little ignorant from time to time. Hey, okay, we love Whitney. What Drake say? Something about a Bobby and a Whitney. I wonder if that's really the reference. No shade, no shade, just references. Yeah, it's funny. Wow, that's cool. Free healthcare and education. God bless y'all. Mm. I wish that was a thing in the US. I wish. I mean, I think that, well, they said that Canada's healthcare is better, but I remember when I was in school, there was somebody who, I don't know if they were from Canada or they moved out there for the healthcare system, but it wasn't as affordable as they people make it out to be. So I don't know. But I mean, hey, anywhere in the world where healthcare is accessible to people, it just makes sense. Like that should just be a norm. But I understand we live in a capitalist world and people always got to do what they need to do for the money. That's what's up though. And I mean, we do have free education as well in a way, like public school. But I went to private school, so I had to um well, I mean, I didn't have to pay, but my parents paid for that. Um and yeah, and in college, that's expensive too. Even if you do community college, like you still have to pay for like semesters and electives and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's ridiculous in the US. But I mean, shout out to y'all though. Yeah, but I think it's cool when people can learn different languages at a young age. I mean, it's the best time to do it because that's when it's easy to, adapt and learn versus other times in your life. Like for me, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm fluent, but I have tried to learn French on multiple occasions. And I mean, I still try from time to time. I just haven't been focused on it lately. But I mean, I know a little bit, a little something, something. I could have a decent little basic conversation. But yeah, because I mean, I studied French in high school, but I only use it a little bit because I'm thinking like I did go to France before a few years ago. Um, yeah, I went to, like I said before, I have been to Europe, but only certain places. I went to London, Paris, Amsterdam, Belgium, and Brussels. I think. I think those are all the places. But yeah, and so I mean I got to order a croissant and in France in French. So I mean that was cool. Yeah. I mean I still know how to do that. But speaking of, ooh, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Because you know what? There was a song that I was working on in a different language, a French record. Well, technically it's Brazilian, so it's originally in Portuguese, but people have done a French version of it. And I was like, I think it'll be easier for me to learn the French before the Portuguese. Now, I might try to learn the Portuguese at some point in life, but I mean, I don't really need to. But I was learning the French one just for fun. So I don't know, we might have to bring it back because it's funny. I was just thinking about that not too long ago because I was like, oh, you know what? I was in the process of like learning it, but then I was doing gigs at the time, so I had shifted my focus to the gigs that I was working. So I had to like work on cover songs. And that's what I would do on live streams at first when I first started doing this. I would do practices and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, hey, do whatever your heart desires while you have the time, health, and energy to do it, even if it's a big leap, you know? But But you know what? I think I remember that song. Yeah. Hey, love. Want to sit with me? I have a furry friend, y'all. But yeah, Agua de Marco is the song. Specifically the version by Stacy Kent. I'm trying how does it start? Let me see if I remember it. I think I do though. Hey love, come on. Okay, I think it goes like un pas un peu un chemin que chemin un ressaut de signe, c'est un peu solitaire, c'est un île à trouver, c'est la ville le soleil, c'est l'amour le sommet, c'est un piège entravé, un arbre millionnaire, un nœud dans le bois, c'est un chat qui aboie, c'est un oiseau dans l'air, c'est un temps qui pourrit, c'est la neige qui fait, la mystère est parfaite, les promesses du vie. Oh, I haven't sung that song in a long time. I'm surprised I remember that. Now I'm sure the pronunciation wasn't perfect, but yeah. I mean, hey, yeah. Okay. Shout out to the 20s. But I gotta learn the rest of the song. But I think that's like the first verse. And there's so many verses, but there is a part of the song that repeats a little bit, so it's not like terribly hard. Well, thank you. I am a singer too. I don't That's the main thing that I do. I'm mostly a vocalist. And beats just happen to I don't know, I just stumble across like I stumble into like instrumentation and beat making out of frustration. Out of and necessity. So but singing is my main skill. That's what I do first and foremost. Well, thank you though. But yeah, I really love that song because I remember putting like a playlist together a few years ago of like these bossa nova kind of records, and and I remember that song, and then I was listening to a playlist of Parisian bossa nova music, and it was just a vibe because like I want to go back to Paris at some point in life. Um, One song you should listen from me. I don't know. Well, I mean, like if you're into like trap and hip hop, I guess something that would fit the vibe of what you like could be my cover of "Don't" by Bryson Tiller, which is on SoundCloud. But I did just put out a cover of "Sweet Life" by originally by Frank Ocean. So do check that out too. But I will um add the link on here. I'll just put it up here real quick. Not me looking up sweetlife.com. Oh, that's funny. Which account is it? I think it's that one. Nope, it's not. Un pas, un peu, un chemin caché, un ressort de racines, c'est un peu solitaire, c'est un île à trouver, c'est la vie, le soleil, c'est l'amour, le sommet, c'est un piège entravé. Un arbre millionnaire, un nœud dans le bois, c'est un chat qui aboie, c'est un oiseau dans l'air. C'est un temps qui pourrit, c'est la neige qui fait. The fact that Kanye West has a SoundCloud account is funny to me. But um yeah, I'll just share my SoundCloud real quick, and then I do gotta get back to these beats. But this is my SoundCloud account. Oh wait, well some of this isn't on here. I did just put out Sweet Life. I'm not gonna play it because, well, I mean, this might already um have like some copyrights just for the song that I'm using. But this is what my account looks like. Follow me, subscribe. So I want to get to 50. Right now I'm at 39. That's not bad because I think a few days ago I might have been at like 37. So I got two subscribers. Hey, everyone counts. I mean, only if they want to be here. Only if they enjoy the vibes. Because sometimes trolls be trolling. Word. Well, thank you, darling. I'm like, why is this not popping up? But whatever. Okay. So yeah. Oh yeah. And back in the day, I used to be in a group called Down to Mars. It was real cute or whatever. Um, I try not to listen to this project a lot, but I will say if you do listen to the project, my favorite record is Please. I don't think there's any samples on here. I don't think there's any samples on Please, but I'm not going to chance it anyway. I'll let y'all listen to it on your own free time. But I did do a acoustic cover of Doja versus the production beat. Now this song, I mean, it's not bad. I really like my harmonies in the intro, and the lyrics are cool because I use a lot of like church Christian references because I went to Catholic school, so naturally. Um, and then I did like acoustic version, but I did like a mashup of a SZA song. But I was saying, if you scroll all the way down, I did a cover of "Don't" by Bryson Tiller. I don't know. I feel like that might be your vibe, or you could just listen to everything that's on there. Just listen to everything, and and that will really help me out. All right, but while you do that, um, I'm going to go back to this beat because I had an idea and I gotta continue the idea. Okay, I don't mind the gap of space right there. I feel like that actually fits. Am I monetized on SoundCloud? Um, yes, in the future. I'm working my way to catching up with that version of me that is monetized on SoundCloud and YouTube and all the platforms. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know who this person is, but I think you be trolling. So I'm sorry, sir. You might have to be blocked because I remember he popped on through at one time, and I'm like, no. So yeah, sorry. What? What are you talking about? I don't know. But anyway, I did want to try to redo this. Okay, yeah. I did want to copy this, put this here-ish or something like that. Oh, can y'all see anything? I'm like, why don't y'all tell me nothing was on the screen? All right, hold up. All right, there we go. Or you know what? Y'all probably could still see it. It's just on my screen. It's like that. Because I know sometimes that'll happen, and I watch the playback, and to me, it looks like it's not on the screen, but for y'all, it is. So, but anyway, we back in business, baby. Hey, um, can you believe we're already in the 20th of July? My gosh. Speaking of, I gotta go in the back office in my store and handle some stuff. Mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. And then, how did I do this before? Okay. No, I didn't actually. Okay. Yeah. So the Down on Mars records, my bandmate made that beat, or made all the beats really. Um, like I'll come up with ideas, and I'll be like, "Hey, can you make a beat like that? Kind of sounds like this, or does this, or whatever." But nah, she completely did that beat. Thank you. Yeah, Frank Ocean covers just an instrumental, but I did put that out recently. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Let's see if this works. But yeah, the Beats Please is really dope. It's one of my favorites. Okay. That's not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Oh, you know what? I know how I'm going to do this. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Because we know how to fade. We know how to catch a fade. Okay. Yeah, volume. Okay. And then we need the. What was this part now? Okay. So far, I mean, it's coming along. It sounded like something. Oh, I don't like this. Why isn't this snap? Oh shit. Why does volume sound so crazy? Okay. All right, let me try to break this into sections. I take the money. I don't know what part is this, like a pre-hook type of thing. Alright, this feels like a verse. The fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know what the fucking structure is anymore. I feel like this is just a long chorus. Let me extend this thing. My goodness. Okay. I don't know what is going on. I really don't know what the structure is. I hope it flows right. Um, I know I don't have to do traditional structures, but I kind of, and you know what this kind of gives me? Not like it doesn't sound like it, but how I feel like the perfect use of a Spanish speaking song that's flipped into a hip hop beat. Not saying that this might give hip hop. I might there might be like hip hop nuances to it, but I feel like that Like It Like That by Cardi B. Whoever did that beat, like that was such a perfectly sampled beat. Like if you just listen to that record, yeah, I like it like that. Mm-mm-mm. Like just the sections for her to rap on, and then going back into the chorus, and just like it sounds like a hit. The use of the sample is used right in all the right places. Like it's such a well sampled song and well produced song too. Um, Hold on, let me just try to make a evenly distributed thing on here. Okay. Um, okay. Do I think Spotify streaming will ever be dethroned? That's an interesting verb. I don't know. The next option, I don't know. I guess I would say that's why I promote my music on my own platform. Like I do say stream the music. I think streaming is good if you want to like try out an artist, to see what the music is like. And I also think it's good for playlisting too, like if you like to make playlists. But if you really want to support an artist, like if you really enjoy their music, you enjoy what they stand for, what they're about, what their values are, just their vibe and their energy, then I feel like, that's when it's good to like double down on promoting yourself. So, the people who support you can support you. I think to like Chance the Rapper, where there was a period of time where he wasn't making money off the music, and like his music was on streaming platforms, and I think you could download it for free, but he was primarily making music off the merch, you know. And I think, and plus, like I think he was saying his dad worked in like politics, and I think might have worked with Obama at one point because he's from Chicago. Obama's from Chicago, so that makes sense. So he learned techniques in terms of marketing. So that's kind of like what helped him build his um, brand in the early stages. But yeah, I think that's just really what's important. It's just like building your own following and your own audience and the people who want to show up and support you and believe in you as an artist. See the work that you put in. Again, you know, enjoy what you stand for and how you show up in the world. But I do think there is a place for streaming, but streaming platforms should be paying artists more. Word. Okay. Oh, word. That's what's up. Shout out to the girlfriend from Nigeria. Does she live in Finland too? Or is it like a long distance thing? Just curious. I mean, you ain't got to answer that. That's your business. But that's cool though. I mean, that's dope for you to dabble into different genres. You should. It makes you, have more versatility and, be able to be malleable to different spaces. Oh, word. That's what's up. But yeah, you know what? That makes me think of this video that I saw online. I came across it a long time ago, but I never finished watching it because I think at the time I wasn't really producing like that. I was trying to get back into producing, but I kind of wasn't like really fully feeling it and in that vibe at the time. But it's a video from Splice where this guy shows you how to like make kind of like traditional or classic beat patterns based on genre, and it's such a good breakdown because I think it's good enough if you're a beginner, and it's understandable if you're a beginner, and it's easy to pick up on if you're experienced. And for me, when it comes, I feel like my strong suit is drum patterns because I really just kind of go off of whatever the vibe I'm feeling as I hear the beat, and I just kind of play around with different sounds. Like, so I don't really go into it thinking like, oh, let me do like a traditional 90s kind of hip hop beat. I'm just like kind of playing around with the drum pads, and I usually like to do stuff that's a little bit like more syncopated or like very hip hop influenced. And when I saw that breakdown, I was like, oh my God, okay, this makes sense. So he did like a breakdown um for like hip hop, house music, techno, EDM, reggaeton, R&B, trap, and like some other stuff too. And he just, and it's beats that we've all heard before, but how he broke it down made sense. Whereas, like, say if you wanted to dabble into making like a reggae type of beat and you're unsure of like how to go about approaching the drums, it's like it's a good structure to have. Um, Let me see if I can. I'll share the video just so you can see it. I feel like I'm almost done the sample part. Almost. Maybe. I might rework it a little bit. I kind of don't want to. I kind of don't want to. But, um, okay. I'll just show y'all what the video looks like. Hmm. Okay. That's interesting. I would never think to make a beat like that. But that makes sense though, because if you do the drums first, adding adding the melody to the beat can help you stay on beat. you know, I normally would do the melody first. Sometimes I feel like now that I've done it a few times, I do kind of have like somewhat of a structure. So like if I'm doing something with a sample, then I'll work with the sample first and then I'll put the beat together around the sample. Or if I'm doing a beat from scratch, like say if there's no sample, I'll make the melody or I'll come up with like the melody sound or the main um the main driving part of the song, and then yeah, usually I'll add the beat second, because sometimes what I'll do is I like to build the beat in to the beat, if that makes sense. Like I like to, depending on the type of song and how it's going, I'll like to have the melody play first, maybe loop twice, and then add like a beat part, maybe add the kicks and then maybe the hi-hats later. Like, I feel like it's easier to build that way. But that's just me, that's my personal type of thing. But that's not always the case. Every beat I might not always do it like that. I might switch it up from time to time. So but that is an interesting process though. But yeah, I'm gonna just show y'all this video. I mean, I'm not gonna play it, but I'll play the beginning part so you see it. But it's how to make drum patterns, rhythms. I'll just play the hip hop section and then I'll play the reggaeton.
What's up, everybody? It's Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to program drum patterns in multiple genres. I really think these are the rhythms that every producer should know. While I'm using Ableton Live, this is definitely applicable in any DAW. We're going to be mainly working in piano roll, which is, as you know, universal. Let's take a quick listen to the genres we're going to cover. As you can see, I've arranged the genres from lowest to highest BPM. If you want to jump to the genre you're interested in specifically, we'll have the timestamp in the description. However, I do recommend watching the entire video because you will learn some new rhythms. Lastly, we're going to have all these patterns available as free MIDI files. The link will be at the top right of the screen, as well as the description. Let's begin with hip hop. So in this case, I'm referring to classic 90s hip hop. Let's listen. This is around 80 to 95 BPM. With all the genres, I've chosen another musical element other than the drums to support and help you complete the picture of that genre. All these sounds are from Splice, and this is specifically a piano riff with some nice eighth notes. So let's look at how to program the drum pattern. So the drum sounds we're going to need are kick, snare, hat, and another hat. We're going to start all of these patterns with one measure. If you're not familiar with what a measure is, think of it as the smallest unit of time. Like if you're thinking Legos, this is literally the Lego that's just one little unit, one little piece, that's one measure. I'm also going to refer to beats within the measure throughout this video. When I say beat 2, that is specifically 1.2. When I say beat 3, that's 1.3, beat 4, 1.4. The 1 indicates that it is the first measure. The 0.2 indicates that it's the second beat. I'm going to switch to pencil mode using B, and let's put the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. And let's put the kick on beat 1 on 1.3, which is the third beat. This is considered the and a little 16th note right before that third beat. A lot of the drums in this genre have a lot of groove to them or human feeling. So we're going to take these and we're going to shorten them a little bit. If you hold Command and Ableton, you can get it off the grid. And if I select the piano note here, I'm going to slide this over. And maybe this one a little late. So it's sometimes nice to put the snare just a hair early. The kicks can be a little bit late. It depends on what beat and, of course, the feeling of the melodic component. But let's go ahead and put the hat in. And we're going to swing this by dragging it off the beat. And the velocity, we can adjust the velocity down here, or I can hold Command over the note. And we want this swing, so we're going to highlight the time, Command D for duplicate across. I'm going to put the hats and slide them so that they line up perfectly with the snare. And if we want to make the measures maybe twice as long, I'll do measure length here, and I'll do 2 measures. Hit Enter, highlight this. And we can just put a little variance by putting a snare drum maybe at the 3 cells away from that backbeat or the if you're thinking classic music theory. All right, on to reggaeton, moombahton, and dancehall. The BPM can be anywhere from 95 to even like 125, 130. I have it at mine at 100 BPM. A lot of these genres are based off 2 important rhythms, tresillo and clave. Let's take a look at the bass reggaeton rhythm. The bare essential instruments we'll need are the kick, the rim, and the shaker. So this is what is considered a 4 on the floor genre, meaning the kick is on every 4 beats. And the tresillo rhythm I was referring to is this grouping of notes. So that is 3, 3, and 2 spacing right here. So 3, 3,
1, 2, 3,
and 2. Very important rhythm.
2.
If we just take away the first one, that's a very, very standard, again, moombahton, reggaeton, dancehall rhythm.
Yeah.
Here's a variation. Let's put in the measure for 4. So we're going to do 4 measures. We're going to duplicate this across. So the next step is to add the shaker. Again, B for pencil mode. We'll draw a line across. So that sounds pretty robotic, and that's because there's no velocity variation between the notes. We might actually use a shaker loop for this, but for the sake of learning, we're programming everything with one-shots. Let's take the velocity down, and I like doing a little crescendo. So that's raising in velocity for the first 3 notes. And then the last note's kind of still softer. So it's not all the way crescendoing. So this pattern sounds nice. And let's go ahead and duplicate that across. So there's some variations we can do quickly. If we take away the kicks here, this is more now a dance hall rhythm. And if we actually take that second note of the tresillo, again, this relationship here is tresillo. And if we take that second note and move it down to a kick, also sounds really nice. So just do that. Next up, we have house, which actually encompasses a lot of...
Okay. That's pretty much how far I got into that video. But I think it was very informative. I was like, okay, cool. Because I know different genres have different patterns and different traditional sounds. So I was like, oh man, that was really good. And like I said, I use Ableton to make the beats. And I don't draw out the beats like that. I actually like play it out. But I do go in and tweak it in that same like format that he does. So yeah. Sure. I will give you an honest opinion. But the question is, would you be able to handle an honest opinion? Because if I don't like it, I will tell you. But if I do like it, I'll say so too. I'll let you live with the free promo. Sink water and all. Hmm. Do you use TikTok or IG? You could send it on there. If you're on Kick, my links are on because look, I'm not just anybody, and I'm aware. I'm aware of the games, but I'll let you play a little bit. Yeah, I don't see you on SoundCloud. Now this better not be whack. It's like nah, but really though. Okay, is it this one beat that's on here that you just uploaded 7 minutes ago? But you ain't got no other beats? How do you say your name? Ooze? Ooze? All right, honey. All right, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, hun. Okay. All right, what you say? Uzi K? Are you Asian? Because I see there's some. Wait until the breakdown. All right, I'm a. Okay. Nah, I know you say Finland, 100% Finnish. Okay, that's so interesting. Finnish. this uh person of Finland. All right, all right. Can y'all see the screen? I'm like, hold on, let me say something. Okay. Right. I'm like, okay. We see the chocolate vanilla swirl. All right, y'all. This the free promo. This better be good. All right. Shout out to the Kanye family. Okay. That was worth the free promo.
The best song wasn't the
Okay,
single,
SoundCloud. Yes.
but you were
You ain't
already
right.
there, living in the Dallas Heights, Black Beverly
But for copyright
Hills.
reasons, I won't play it all the way through. All right. How do you say this? How do you say your name again? OZK? All right, that was fire. That was fire. Mm-hmm. It was. Might have to put it out with the sink water. You know, it's dope. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say it's whack. Right? Ain't it good? It's dope. Where we love a good trap beat. All the way from Finland, y'all. But that was such a random fun fact. I'm like, what inspired that? I'm like, Lord, I hope it wasn't the Truman Show. Because Lord knows there's a lot of shenanigans that happens over there with sync activities. I'm like, all right. You know what? I'd have been mad if the beat was whack. You know, if the beat was whack, and I'm like, I know this. I know this. I'd have been finished with this finish, man. But nah, that was dope. It was dope. Okay, but I gotta finish my beat. I mean, I don't have to finish it. Finish it. What time is it? It's like 1 a.m. where I am. Um, well, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, sometimes look, it happens. I mean, and if it was whack, I wouldn't have been that mad at you. I would have just a little bit. I wouldn't have let the references slide too much. Um, if it was whack. But I try to give people some grace because I understand. Well, it'd be different if you'd be doing a situation where you're like making the beat in real time and you're like teaching yourself how to produce. Because what I haven't produced in like years. So I mean, I've been doing this for like I don't know, like maybe like 2 months now, almost a little over 2 months. I'm getting back into production, and yeah, but if your life were anything like the Truman Show and people had to watch you progress in real time and don't give you the chance to be whack and evolve from being whack into being dope, it'd be different. But you have the freedom and the space to work through your whackness and then present. But I try to give people their grace. But yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, the Kanye samples is cute too. We love that. We don't want no devils around here. Okay, the devil is not welcome here. Anyway, okay. Again, I really don't know what this structure is giving, but I feel like as long as like the transitions are smooth, then I feel like I could work with something. Okay, I feel like this is a decent loop. I really don't know which section is what, but fuck it. And we're like a minute and some change at this point. Okay, I'm like, oh yeah, I think. Yeah, and then that part. And then I wanted to. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. It's very much not that. I'm trying to extend this. There we go. Okay, I can't do what I'm trying to do. I mean, I guess I can go there. Okay, and that's gonna be like. I don't know if I'm gonna use this, but all right. I mean, like this really isn't all that long. It's like what, 2 minutes. But I mean, I don't know. I think this is fine for now. Um, I guess. I guess. I don't know. This might be the structure that I work with. I mean, I think I like it so far. And then, but my thing is like, if I add to it, I'm not going to want to go back and change this. Okay, word. Smooth enough for me. All right. I don't know. I feel like okay, short and sweet. All right, I think this is cool. For what I have, this is not the intros and outro. I guess possibly. I don't know. I don't even know if there's really a bridge, but I don't know. I don't know. Um, sorry, we need to make a whole new John for that. Yeah. Well, this will probably change titles. Oh, actually, oh, that's not where I wanted that to end the sample. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do either. Alright, actually, let me just hear this and hope that there's not something at the very end. Okay, yeah, no, it's like all that extra space at the end. All right, so we'll just do that one more time. Oh my gosh, that's because this is the wrong thing. I'm like, where the fuck is the export? Okay, let's get this right. Okay, like that. I love that for me. All right, now. Okay, better colors too. Yes, save. And we shall close that up. That's my fault for that. BPM. What is that? Okay, nope, that's not helpful either. It's very much not helpful. Okay, there we go. Yeah, save. Two. I'm like, you know what? I feel like metronomes be underrated. Um, hmm. I mean, I never really thought about the whole like loop thing. Like when you say loops, do you mean like drum kits and stuff? I mean, I guess so. Now, I mean, I feel like that might have been the process that my like old bandmate used to do. I think she might have used loops. I know she used a lot of drum packs from like Tyler the Creator, Pharrell drum packs and stuff like that. Um, I mean, I don't know. Like yes and no. Like part of me feels like just because like I'm the type of person that will like play out all the parts. Um, just because I just that's just how I started to teach myself. I didn't think like there's probably loops that I could be using. I was just like, okay, I have this MIDI controller. I guess I have to make all the beats. So that's just how I stumbled into it. But I mean, I guess like I mean, it does suck for anybody who's not getting the credit that they should get the credit for. And then at the same time, it's like I can understand why people would look at it in a way and say um, like, oh, it is a cheat code, like you not really producing for real. And I guess like DJs have that same argument with people who use like electronic turntables with the records on like a laptop versus Angie. Angie, can you not please? Thank you. I guess like that's how DJs complain. Like I understand that complaint for like old school DJs who came up during an era when they had to like bring the crates of like vinyls and all that stuff versus what's available now with technology when you can just have your catalog on a laptop and you just kind of like play with the mixer or whatever. So I mean, I think it's just a matter of like just how technology is evolving over time versus um it's a both. It's one is technology evolving, and then at the same time, yeah, it does make people um not have to work so hard. It is easier. But I think, if a beat is dope and it's undeniably dope, then I mean you can't be mad at it, you know? Um Again, it'd be different if the beat was whack, or if it's corny or whatever the case may be, you know. And so like you can do all the simple shit and it be whack, or you could do all the intricate things and it be whack. Luckily that's not something that I like really concern myself with, because my thing is, as long as it's good, you know, as long as I know I like it, it sounds good to me. I trust my ear and my taste of music. So, I'm not mad at it. I'm not going to try to beat somebody up over are you using the loops or no? You know, I kind of don't care as long as it sounds good and you're doing it. I mean, yeah, and if you're giving people credit, like if you can give people credit, then do that. I think that's the thing that is the most corny to me. If you're not giving people credit, and my thing is like, even if I'm not rocking with you, if you contributed in any way, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. That's always how I've been, and I dare somebody to say otherwise. Like, even people who've given me a hard time that I've collaborated with, if you've contributed to the work, and if the contribution was an addition to the art, I'll give credit. And then if it isn't, I'll say that it isn't good either. Angie, Angie, girl, can you scratch this other box? Angie. Scratch that. That's what you've been doing before. Anyway, word. Everybody has their preference. Do I enjoy any projects released this year? I mean, both. I usually, um, listen to what I know, but I have been listening to some new stuff. Um, what were you saying earlier? About, you know, everybody sounding like the US, or, sampling off of Party Boy Cardi. I just feel like a lot of the new stuff looks familiar. I'm like, oh, I wonder what inspired that. Um, but I mean, there is some good music out here. Like, it's not like the music isn't good. And then again, like, I can get into the whole like spiritual conversation of, okay, what's the intention of this record? Like, what's the energy behind it? Because that's important to me. I actually care to, like, of course, like some stuff is fun, some stuff is, just for the sport of it, talking shit, like, being braggadocious, because I feel like that's very hip hop. But at the same time, like, I try my best to be intentional about the message, what I'm saying, like what I'm using my platform for, regardless of what people's skewed or incorrect perceptions of me are. Um, I'm like, look, I care to put out positive messages, so I'm gonna do that. But I'll do it in a way where it's dope, and and the beat is fire. So, you know, and I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the music now, and even now, like even in the past, like you just have to be mindful what you allow yourself to, um, be a part of your frequency. You know, like that's why. I mean, I like the trap beat that you played, but I don't really care for trap music like that. Um, you know, I know it's just the name of the genre, but I don't really care to be trapped in anything. You know, and I know words are spells and knowledge is power, and I have a lot of it. So, I don't really like to fall into those traps. Um, but, you know, and then again, some of the music could be really good, but at the same time, what's the energy behind it? You gotta ask those things. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's what people do. I'm curious to see what other people's processes are. Like, I feel like there's some people that are really dope at, putting loops together, I guess. Um, but like, I don't want to like shit on anybody's process. I don't. That's the thing. I'm not really looking at what other people do. I'm just looking at what I'm doing, and just trying to be better at what I do. I mean, if I could learn from other people, and just watch people's process, and you know, usually if I'm looking at somebody's process, it'll be because I'm like, okay, this beat sounds dope. I wonder how they put it together. Or if it's like my favorite producer, like, I say in my song, not to dethrone anyone, but you know, but I do study the greats to see how they play the game intentionally, because they're great for a reason. Hey, cut it out. Scratch this one over here. What? Mm, I feel like somebody asked me this the other day. Um, I don't know. Top five producers. Me. It's like, nah. That's a very Kanye answer. Um, no, I'm still learning. I'm still a student to this. So, but I do like my beats though. I feel like my beats are pretty dope. Um, compared to how they were when I first started, and I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I was just putting stuff together. Like, some of it sounded cool, but I didn't really have like structure, or like int like intention in terms of like how I wanted to approach the song. I would think I was just trying to figure out how the program worked, and I would just kind of like made stuff, and I was like, oh, this sounds good, I guess. But now I'm more intentional about the process. But to answer your question, because it's not about me. Um, um, I don't know. Q-Tip. I don't know who that is. Um, Q-Tip, Pharrell, Kanye. Specifically in hip hop. I haven't really thought about like other genres, but Timbaland. Mm, I would say Jay Dilla, but I feel like I don't know enough beats of his that I can pinpoint and like, yo, okay, I know this is a Jay Dilla beat. I feel like I know a lot of his beats, but I don't know that it's his. So I have more homework to do on Jay Dilla. But um and DJ Premier. Well, I mean, yeah, but you asked me what my like top five producers were. Specifically in hip hop. Specifically in hip hop. Um because when I think of production, I mean, I know there's other production producers in other genres, and even some of those producers dabble into other genres, which is what I like about them. Specifically, um, Pharrell and Kanye. But like the fact that Kanye made "You Don't Know My Name" by Alicia Keys, what? um, yeah, such a dope track. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I said five. Those are five. And you know what? I need to do more research and like find like women producers because I feel like women like female rappers are getting their just due and their shine in this particular era, but I don't think there's enough women producers. Like I can't even tell you any like female producers that I know of. Now I know there's female. Well, okay, I won't say producers, beat makers, because there is a difference. Angie, see, I knew she was gonna be up. I'm like after that long ass nap, literally like my fur baby, because I did take care of children at one point in my life, and when they take a long nap and then it's like, oh, when they up, they gonna be up wrecking havoc. Angie, Angie, stop. Anyway, yeah, there should be I don't know, there should be more um what's the word? More flowers for women producers. I feel like I don't know any, which is crazy to say. Like not that everything's about gender, but I care to represent and advocate for women in more ways than one, whether it be women's rights, um, especially over our reproductive rights and bodies and stuff like that. But also just our place in culture and our place in the world. And so often we get overlooked and disregarded and disrespected so easily. Um, and it's easy to say like, "Oh, women are whack" or whatever the case may be. But Wonder Girl, okay, I do know of her. And, I know some female DJs. Like I think of DJ Diamond Cuts. Um, there's another female DJ that I know too. Yeah, there's not enough women. Wish somebody could put together like a hip hop. Since people be so inspired, like I have documentary requests. Um, a Bernie Sanders documentary for his presidential campaign when he ran in 2016. I would love to see that. And a documentary on women producers in hip hop, specifically from the US. No shade. But just because, I feel like female rappers or people who had position and places in hip hop are starting to get highlighted. I feel like we don't hear about the producers unless they're like somebody that's new. Word. Hmm. Girl. Hold on. What? No, are you hungry? Do you not have food in here? Like, what's the problem? Angie. Angie. You have food. Um, Go ahead. Anyway, that's what's up. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, she's trying to scratch her way off the set because she's not really filling the script. She's like, this script is corny and fugazi. And everything around here is lies and fakery. But anyway, yeah, speaking of Big Sean, um, I heard he could put out an album not too long ago. And, the whole back and forth between Drake and Kendrick and who's the woman abuser, who's the PDF who's actually telling the truth, or who's just saying BS to throw jabs at each other for who's going to have the most popularity out of the battle, um, overshadowed Big Sean's album. Um, I'm sure it's good though, because I feel like he's a dope rapper, and I think he just had his first kid, so I'm sure his perspective about life is different. Um, you know, but yeah, it's kind of corny. I mean, it's not corny, but I don't know. Like I was here for it when everything was happening for the like sport of hip hop, but I feel like Angie is over this live stream. But I know what it is though. I know she's just like she's bored. Angie, come here, hon. Come here. There is nothing in that bag that you will want. Anyway, um, what time is it? It's almost like 2 a.m. I think I might come back to this beat. I mean, I do have like some progression ideas, but where are we at? MIDI controller. Yeah. I mean, Not Like Us is a dope track too. You know, trying to strike a chord, probably A minor. I mean, like it's funny, and you know, my only thing is like, it's hilarious, you know. But I mean, I just wish that amount of like energy and talent and creativity. I mean, but the thing is, like, Kendrick usually does that though. So, like, I can't be like completely upset because he usually uses his, genius for good. I just think it's unfortunate that he's getting like the most popularity, like shitting on somebody. And I've said this on TikTok. I did a whole like post about, you know, how just because something's for the culture doesn't necessarily mean is conducive for the culture, because at one point it was acceptable and cool to rap about abusing women, people who are actually abusing women, not like insinuating or like whatever. Like there's a DMX song about that he says that he'll rape somebody's girl, and I think it's like a B-side, like a beat cut, and I'm like, okay. But we love DMX. He's a legend, you know, and he's got great hits and he's overcome a lot in his life, you know. But I'm like, okay, so we're using rape as threats, you know. Okay. Like when was that ever cool? You know? Or threatening, making up made up scenarios, or, you know, whatever. Like that rabbit hole I could go in on, just because like of what I stand for and what matters to me as a woman, and what I've used my time and energy to stand for as a woman. You know, it shit like that bothers me. You know, especially when people overlook that and whatever. But yeah, like, you know, Kendrick literally put out a whole EP just to like shit on Drake and, you know, others. But you know, what is it, the braids? Like there's definitely iconic lines in there. Like, you know, it is what it is, but I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, anyway, what I was saying was the post that I made. I was saying, you know, it's respected and acceptable to be toxic for the culture. But when you advocate for healing and love and peace and elevation, those things are generally seen as corny. Or if it's not corny, it's not as celebrated and it's not as elevated as the dissing and the battles and the going back and forth and whatever, you know. And I just think, you know, people like to think that they're advocating for things. You know, people will, you know, play the like fake woke, like, oh, let's band together to get behind this mission. Oh my gosh, we don't like this person because they did this. All right, let's make these preferences and do all this for the cause. But it's like, okay, if y'all really doing it for the cause, where y'all at the rallies? Where you at the protests? You know, how are you using your platform to elevate and heal those things for the cause? Nah, people just like to play their petty games of like, oh, we're getting one over on this person, or, you know, we're gonna try to play this person. But all right, y'all keep playing the games, but it's like, what are you doing to actually present solutions? What are you doing to actually elevate the safety of women? What are you doing to actually address people that you might know that are actually abusers? You know, but I mean, you know, people like to be fake for a cause. Um, you know, and basically just use that as an excuse or as a cosign to advocate for them to abuse, which is, I don't know, it's the craziest thing to me. This planet makes no fucking sense to me. Like, you humans are ass backwards. And not y'all, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know y'all personally. Y'all might be a little ass backwards. But and look, I like to again give people their grace and understand that humans aren't perfect. But yeah. Yeah, see, it's tricky. It's tricky because, like, for example, you know, I just think it's interesting that there's actual people in the industry in positions of power that are, you know, have committed actual crimes of sexual assault or any type of assault to someone, you know, and those are real issues that should be addressed. And then honestly, there are some situations where, you know, because and I'm not making this about gender, I'm making it about scenario. There are some situations where, you know, people get rejected, and out of that rejection, they try to make it a thing of like, oh, because you rejected me, I'm gonna act like you hurt me, I'm gonna cry wolf and make it an issue. Or say, you know, someone tries to like put themselves on you, and again, rejection, or you set a boundary and then, you know, want to turn around and act like they're the victim. And you know, it's interesting. It's really interesting word. And sometimes, depending on if that person has more power, more connections, more resources, you know, whether it's the truth or not doesn't matter. It's just a matter of who has the loudest voice. And I think those situations are quite corny. And you know, what does Kendrick say in that song when he was like, you know, the people aren't dumb? I'm like, you sure? Because I mean, like, no shade to the people, because I love the people. I advocate for the people. I fight for the people. I care for the healing and the elevation of the peoples. But you know, sometimes the people make it hard to want to fight for them when you're fighting them. You know, it's kind of like the Matrix, where, you know, the goal is to free people out of the Matrix, but sometimes it's hard to free those people because you never know if they're going to morph into an agent or not, you know, because the agents could jump into anybody that don't realize that they're part of the Matrix. And when you're trying to free people or awaken people or tell people like the truth of what's really going on or what's really happening, some people will, you know, morph into into an agent and start attacking you, even though you're trying to free them. You know, it's and I feel like that's the hardest shit ever. That's really the hardest shit, because it's like part of you, or at least part of me, don't want to give up on people. You know, part of me wants to like, I know people can evolve. I've evolved, I've matured, I've learned, I've shifted and changed in my life. So I know that it's possible for other people. So I don't want to like give up on people, or I don't want to easily just like write people off or throw people away. Like, and that's why, you know, in my own life, I stay very like to myself, because there's so many times where I've given people chance after chance who weren't giving me chances or even cared to hear my truth or my side of anything, you know, because if so, they'd have to admit that they knew, you know, certain life parts of my life was being doxxed and exploited online, but whatever. Um, anyway, that's a whole tangent in itself. But but you know what? And I'll say this: I don't want to say that people are dumb, because I just don't even like saying that. Even though I do feel like people be dumb, you know, like Remy Ma voice. Are you dumb? Like I just be wanting to say that to people all day. But I don't like to say people are dumb when they're ignorant, and I think it's a difference, you know, because I think being dumb is being willfully ignorant, like when the information is available to you, when the truth is there for you and you willingly choose to be dumb, versus someone who's ignorant, where you're intentionally fed misinformation. So people have perspectives and they have strong beliefs about a situation or a person or a circumstance, and I try to have grace for those people, because, you know, they didn't have access to the truth. They didn't have access to valuable information. The information that they did have access to might have been skewed or altered or planted or set up a particular way. But then when you come up with the receipts, with truth and how, certain things came to be and how certain things were set up a certain way for, or how certain issues transpired, you know, sometimes people are so set in their ways and the belief system that was ingrained in them for, I don't know, years, decades, however long, it's hard to break them out of that. And it's only a matter of if people choose to be open minded enough to be, excuse me, to consider what's being fed to you, your belief system, what you think you know based on the message that's being given to a majority of people. It takes someone being open minded enough to at least question that. I know a lot of y'all be asking me some questions, but I challenge you to question the information that's being fed to you and why and how. Because if certain things are being fed to you in a way where you can't get the perspective of all sides, red flag. If things are being fed to you in a way to influence the perspective without you being able to at least question it, red flag. And that goes for anything, any space, any topic, your job, your friendships, your relationships, politics, anything. If people are giving you information and you can't question them, you can't challenge them, you can't get all sides of the perspective, you're only being fed one side, one perspective, but you can't go and double check the other side or other perspective, red flag. And then sometimes you just got to look at all the players involved. Like, okay, out of these two people, and you telling me this person did this, but this person didn't. I don't know. This person kind of, and this person behaved like, and they said this, and they moved like this, and they, okay, all right, well, I feel like sometimes the context clues be there, and of course, the message that's being swooped, that's popular, that's what people, fall into. Well, I hope so. Thank you. I mean, you should be thinking. We all should, just about everything. Or at least question things or do research or consider different perspectives or be open minded. You know, I think it's an issue when we're all like made to believe one thing and it's not okay to consider other options, other perspectives, other opinions, and challenge the things that's being fed to us. And sometimes it's easy to just go with a message. Like, sometimes I'll see stuff online where it's like, say somebody has an experience with a business and it wasn't the most positive. And then somebody else was like, oh, I believe them because when I was there too, this is what my experience was. So you got two opinions on these experiences. And then say other people have like positive experiences too, but say for whatever reason they didn't make the Yelp review. Because I noticed, I mean, that's not always true. Some people do go back to make positive reviews, but I think people are quicker to make the negative reviews. You know what I mean? Like, say if you look up a meal, you usually see the complaint at the top because, when people have a bad experience, oh, let me go and make this review. And say there's a lot of times where I've had positive experiences in places and I just was like, oh, this was good. because that's the standard. That's what you're supposed to have, is a positive experience. So sometimes I don't think to make a review for something positive either, but maybe I should do that more often. But I mean, and there are people who make good reviews, but it's usually those negative ones that stand out the most. And then there's some situations where, like, say if people are trolling and they'll band together and be like, oh, we don't like what this person said, so we gonna write negative reviews all through their thing, even though it might not even be true. But you know, it's just like, okay, but someone on the outside looking in is like, well, damn, if all these people wrote all these negative reviews, something must be wrong with this business. But you don't know the backstory. You don't know the whole situation. Well, thank you, y'all. I should be a professor at this point. Even though I wrote a song about not having a degree, I might as well get one just so I can save humanity with my lectures. But really, you know, again, I think it's good to question society and even the status quo. Just because a majority is down with something or down with a movement or a particular message, you know, I think it's good to question the majority, even if your heroes co-sign it, because sometimes they be wrong. For example, that whole situation that happened with Jussie Smollett, no shade to him, or as Dave Chappelle would say, juicy smoothie. Um, but like, everybody and their mama put out a post. It was like, oh my God, stop the hate. Stop the hate. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Jussie. Oh my goodness. Why would they hurt him? And then lo and behold, whole time, it was some Nigerian guys that he knew. And you know what? And honestly, even in that example, I still don't like the way people like just try to throw away Jussie because of that situation. Like, okay, yeah, it was shitty that he lied. Yeah. And he should be held accountable for it. But I don't think he shouldn't have a career over it. You know what I mean? I feel like he should be given grace because he is talented. He's great at what he does. I just felt like it was a misstep in his career. But and it's unfortunate because like, I'm sure it wasted tax dollars with police officers trying to investigate some shit that really wasn't a thing to investigate. But at the same time, I don't think he should not have a chance to like feed himself or in his family. I feel like we all should be granted that grace, especially in situations that, you know, are less honorable. As long as accountability and truth are on the table for all sides. But anyway, y'all got me distracted off my production. Okay, I've been on here for mad long. I was going to add the beat, but we got the sample. It took a minute, but it's in there. So yeah, that's where we're gonna conclude this, and I'll add the beat later. Um, but yeah, thank you all for being a part of the live stream. Thank you for stopping on in. Whether you hate watch, whether you love watch, whether you troll watch, whatever it is, or whether you support watch, thanks. I appreciate the watch hours. Um, I'm just trying to catch up with the future me. Um, yeah. Well, thank you. So are you. Um, yeah. But regardless of how you watch, um, don't get trapped in the matrix. If you're making trap music, make music to get out the trap. Um, you know, food for thought. And I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. Thanks for the reminder. Um, thanks. I appreciate that. I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. I hope you all, were inspired. We love a good lecture here. And I hope we all can transmute any low vibrational energy to a positive. Um, and Angie, can you let me finish? I'm almost done. I, I just gotta finish the message for the people. No, you don't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just saying she's trying to dig a hole to get off the set. I understand. Um. Yeah. So check out myself on SoundCloud. I know some of you already did. I appreciate that. Um. You know. Check out Divine EP on streaming platforms. Angie, hold on, y'all. Girl, because you're doing a lot. And I'm almost finished. Come on. You gotta sit outside for a second. Come on. Just give me a second. Anyway. Um Thank you for being a part of the live stream. Thank you for spending time, precious time of your existence here on earth on this live stream, watching me make music because it's what I do. Um, all facts, no printer, with ink, respectfully. Um, yeah, like I said, stream the Divine EP. We got CDs, and we have limited edition flash drives. As I say, stream the music first, see if you enjoy it, if you like it, if you want to support your girl. Um, share the music, follow all the streaming platforms, save it, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and Kick, wherever platform you're watching on. Um, and yeah, have a blessed night. I hope you all are inspired. I hope you all are awakened in your spirit and your third eye to see through the BS of it all. Um, I had a really interesting revelation today. Spiritual warfare is real, and sometimes we're born into situations that we have no control over, and realizing that for a long time people had control over us. And yes, you already know. Yes. Um, but there's certain situations where people try to have control over you and then blame you for those actions, even though they were pulling the strings. Um, and realizing, like, again, why I call this the village. Certain instances in my life, in my childhood, where I didn't feel protected, I didn't feel heard, seen, respected, or valued in certain instances, and felt like very used and misunderstood and insecure, and um felt the need to, like, protect people who weren't protecting me. And, like, I've said this before, but, like, there's so many times where I've looked out for people, protected folks that have, like, the last thing they did was protect me, which is crazy. But and somehow, like, I'm the villain in their story, even though they wrote the script. But all right, you know, they wrote the book. They put the bookmark in the page, and but and for a clear explanation on that, I do have a Patreon account where I go into detail about that, into the spiritual journey of it all, and learning about esoteric practices and realizing certain people in my life and my family were spiritually evolved, and just certain revelations in my life that I'm realizing and learning now, that's been going on since I could even remember. And yeah, so I have two Patreon accounts actually. One Patreon account where I do my where like my original production beats that I usually live stream, where I put that music up there. I might start doing that for some of these sample beats too, even though they're samples. But yeah, I don't know. But that Patreon is just Nerisse. So just how you see it spelled here without the M. But there's that. And then the other Patreon where I really get into the spiritual stuff and do a little spell hunting, to say the least. And discover and break certain spells that I've discovered and, document some of that process. That's on the Nerisse Show. That's the name for now. So if you look up patreon.com/the Nerisse Show, it's there. I don't think I have that link in the description. I'll probably add it later. But yeah. Um right now the price is crazy. That's just because I'm still getting the platform together and adding content on there. So like if anybody does decide to join, there'll be things to watch and a lot of things uncovered, and a lot of things that affected my life and how I grew up, and just how I was perceived and whatnot, and realizing like just certain things were in place for a very long time, set up for me to fail. So like, even if you can say like, oh, that's that girl that was sleeping around with that guy, because I had a whole phase in my early 20s, which I've known several people who do. But I guess when you're on the pedestal that I'm on, shit like that is like all hell breaking loose. But just certain things, and then realizing like there were certain things in my life pushing me to behave that way, influencing me to, you know, be more promiscuous, and and just like not having people in my corner to teach me the game, and in terms of like how to move, how to date around, and how to respect yourself in the process, and have standards for yourself, and have things that you won't settle for and things that you won't tolerate. Like, I had to learn that shit the hard way. And and some of the things that I noticed certain people around me wouldn't tolerate, they were encouraging me to do. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, some of these folks is not really for me, and haven't been for a while, for like all my life, literally. Um, yeah, so I get into that, those details on that Patreon account. Um, yeah, because you know, just dealing with the things that I've dealt with, some might see like, what's the point of even going forward? Like, you know, many would say, ain't you tired? And yeah, I mean, it can be, but again, that's why I felt the need to start this village, because it matters to me, and again, like, I'm here on the planet. It's a 1 in 400 trillion odds of being a human in this universe, and I'm here. I'm in good health. I'm alive. I'm, taking it a day at a time. I have this talent. I have this drive and the audacity to believe in myself, regardless of what my outer situation looks like. Just because I know I have important things to say and I have important songs to write, despite the things that people try to like influence me and manipulate and, blame me for, whatever the case may be. But I stand 10 toes down for what I stand for who I am, and against any fucking body. I think, I don't know if it was Serenity on here, or Q, I forget who asked, but someone asked about, like, just how I deal with anxiety and depression. And I'm like, I know what anxiety and depression is. And gratefully, I don't feel that now. I don't know how, with the things that I deal with, and the pressure, and some of the disappointments, and just like even the rejection from like some of my heroes, which that's a whole nother story for another time. I can really get into the details about that. But I always knew who I was, and I knew who I wasn't. I knew what I wasn't. And, you know, I know that I'm a good person, and I really care about the world. And there's people who actually causes harm to folks and don't care. And I know that's not me. And not only that, but just like, I don't know. I could go into like why I think I am the way I am, and just how I'm still going. But I just know, like, I want my life to be the example of, like, if Narice can make it, bitch, I can too. Like, if she could deal with all of that and still push through to a point where, like, she's fighting for her name and her honor and her truth to be heard and to be recognized for the truth of her, against all odds, against all powers that be, against any fucking body, damn, I know I could get through this. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know how God gave me the resilience that I have, especially dealing with the shit that I deal with. But I'm here, and I make it look sexy. um anyway, yes, sound bowls. I think I Monday I started with did we do root chakra? I think I only did one because I ended up ending the live stream pretty late. Where did I put the sound bowls? I think it's probably on my bed. Yep. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Because I wasn't here for Wave Wednesday, I'm not gonna go in order. So I'm just gonna go off of vibes. Um I think we're gonna do the third eye. I feel like that's appropriate. I mean, we got three eyes happening here. I mean, y'all don't see it, well, you shouldn't see it how I see it on my screen. But I think that's energetically the vibe. So yes, cue light. Cue the lights. So many cues. So many cues. Um Ooh, the references of it all. Anyway, yes, we have sound bowls because I care about y'all. I care about your well-being. I care about your spiritual elevation. Um, and yeah, I make beats. Yeah, I get into my lectures, and I could talk about trying to save the planet every live stream. Um, because I care. I care about y'all. I care about this planet. Um, and if there's anything that I would want my legacy to be, is just like, you know, she's talented, and she used her life and her voice to say things that were important, that mattered. So, and she played sound bowls. But there's more chapters to my story. So, um, yeah. But anyway, third eye. Let's get into it. For those who don't know, it's your spiritual eye helps with discernment, to be able to pick up on energy and just read the room. Um, no pun intended. um, but also just to be spiritually aware to the energy around you. And I know some of y'all be trolling in here. I know some of y'all be playing, but y'all need this sound bowl more than anybody. And because of that, like I said, I let you live with the free promo. But also, you're a human on the planet. Whatever your intention is, whatever your spirit is, I just hope in you being here that you leave the live stream better, more informed, inspired, uplifted. If not, then maybe this isn't the space for you, and that's okay. With that said, maybe I'll be in alignment. I'll play this to heal, balance, awaken, and align our third eyes to see the signs, see the guidance, see the warnings, and know that we're being led on paths of righteousness and have the spiritual intelligence and vision to notice. All right, y'all. I mean, I think that was already the closing statement, but y'all know I like to do a little prayer. Regardless of anybody's denomination, I like to pray for y'all, um, for everyone's well being, for their alignment, for their health, their evolution. I think we'll keep it traditional for the most part. Because y'all know I love me some Psalm 23. So I think we'll do two different ones. I mean, Psalm 23, I know off the top, but yeah. So I'll do two prayers. Um, all right. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul, and he leads me on a path of righteousness for his name's sake. And although I walk through the valley and the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me, and thy rod and thy staff comfort me. God prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies, and anoints my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I dwell in the house of the Lord. So it is, so will be. Gratitude for what's been. Amen. I mean, Ashe. So I hope your sink water, um, you know, runneth over. And goodness and mercy follows you for the rest of your days as well. And bottled water for you too. Um, all right. And then I'm also going to do Psalm 93. I mean 91, because I love Psalm 91. So, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, but 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague will come near your tent, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent, you will trample underfoot. Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him. Because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. So it is, so it will be. Much gratitude for everything that's already been. Amen. I mean, Ashe. I hope you all have a blessed night. I hope you all get a little bit of sleep. I know it's really early in the morning for you, our Finland friend. Um, and I hope you all have a prosperous day or week, life. I hope your life is prosperous, successful. I hope you all are in good health. I hope you all are in alignment with the things that you want to do. I hope any questions or fear or doubt in your life is it wards away from you. And I hope you're met with clarity in spaces where you might have been confused. I hope you're met with reassurance where you might have been doubtful. And I hope everything works out for everybody on here. And thank you again for spending your Friday night, Saturday morning with, big old me in Jersey, just doing my musical thing. And I hope you all have a great night. And I will catch you all later. I'll probably live stream maybe during this weekend. I don't know. I've been doing like a lot of like cleaning, decluttering, spell hunting, um, breaking generational curses, and that takes time and energy. And so that's why I took off Wednesday because I was tending to a lot of the clutter and things in my home, and just trying to make it a energetically energetically habitual place, hospitable, basically a spiritually safe place to be. But God gave me the strength and the spiritual awareness and lessons and evolution to get through the things that I deal with. So eventually I might you know share my knowledge because I mean it's a journey, and I do think it's important because I do talk about those stuff here. I'll just say that shortly, and then I'll actually end this live stream. I've mentioned that earlier at the very beginning of well, the first live stream that I did, where I talked about like spirituality and just how the government is aware of those things, of sacred geometry, um, energy, astral projection, all of that stuff. Like those are very real things, and people in positions of political power know those things. They might not talk about it, but they are aware. And I think it's important for us all to be aware, just especially at the very least to be able to protect ourselves and then use that energy and knowledge to prosper ourselves. I mean, I'm still figuring out myself, but I'm definitely battle tested. And again, I make it look sexy. Um, but, you know, as I get myself to a space of overcoming it and getting into a safer environment where I can really like um, get into like deeper discussions and more specific and nuanced discussions about it. Um, I want that to be something that I can inform the village and, hopefully provide tools and knowledge that can inspire, protect, uplift, heal, and free anyone else going through spiritual things. Or maybe you might not be going through it and it's just good for you to know, just to say, protective with your energy, because that's a very real thing. Energy vampires are real. Spiritual warfare is a real thing, and there are witches out here that do cast spells mainly because they are jealous, or they try to destiny swap with you because they see there's a light and a talent with you, and then they'll try to swap and try to, latch on your energy and get the acclaim and success that is, destined for you. So, as I navigate those things, when I've mastered and figured all of that out, I eventually do want to, share that knowledge and power with you all because, again, I care about y'all. And I want you to do well in this world. And I want you to live your best lives and share your talents and, be safe and protected and empowered and informed here. So I hope you all receive that message with love. All right, now I'm actually getting off of here. Much love to you all. Have a great night. Stay blessed. And if I don't see you this weekend, I will see you on Monday for Music Monday. Again, we got live stream Music Monday, Wave Wednesday, Fire Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time ish. All right. Love to you all. Have a good night. Bye.